Well, I dug out my favorite ring compressor kit. It's a snap-on kit I've used for decades putting small block Chevys together, and came to the realization that the bands don't go small enough. I think there's 6 in the set. The bands don't go small enough for this piston, so I had to go with this regular band style. I don't like these. They're a pain in the butt. Anyways, you can't see it because of the angle you're on, but basically it's a sheet metal band you put around there and you tighten with a ratchet and it collapses things. They usually don't work right. Whoa, it worked. Anyways, that's what you got. These crazy things. I don't like them. I just don't like it. It's a pain in the butt. The snap-on one is much faster, much easier, but it's one piston on this engine. That's all we're doing. So we're good with that. Our notch is to the bottom, that's where it should be. Let's get our rod pulled down a little bit. We'll get the crank. Oh, we got to get the rod down first. Down, down. Turned straight. Yep. There we go. Meets up with the crank. Just got to push down around again. Then we get our connecting rod bolts on there. Gonna drop oil on that. Dropping oil on the crankshaft. Whoa, geez, stay where you are. Don't. Whoo. Almost went careening off the bench on us. Let's get a rod cap on there. I don't remember what the torque is. Why are you asking me the hard questions? Here's a little tedious. It can be 9 foot-pounds. 9 foot-pounds on these little guys. I'm sure that's a Newton meter spec. I don't know what it is. These are 9 foot-pounds. That's what I know. Let's get my ratcheting wrench in there. 10 M&Ms. Sound about right to you guys? Yep, you're right. We're just going to run these down very gently, and we're going to make sure that the gaps on the rod cap are closed, because they're kind of a notchy looking thing. They're not just flat like most car engines. Eyeballs. Oh, looks perfect. It's a thing of beauty. 9 foot elbs. Click. No, we're going to torque it. But 9 foot-pounds is not a lot. Move it up, get some clearance. So what I have is a inch-pound torque wrench that goes that low. My actual foot-pound torque wrench starts at 25, so I gotta math it. So if you got an inch-pound torque wrench and you're doing low torque stuff, you can do, say it's 9 foot-pounds times 12, gives you 108. 9 times 12 is 108 inch-pounds. You wind this puppy up to 108, and that gives you 9 foot-pounds. That is all. $108, and it doesn't fit. Why would it fit? Just give me the clearance I need. Just 9 is not a lot. That's it, 9. Not a lot. I don't think I'll even be able to get in there. Of course I can't. Maybe from the top. Ooh. Maybe. Have you got the legs? It does not have the legs. Well, I am gonna guess. That's as close as we're gonna get. Will you just behave? Get it in, turn it back. Oh, we got her. Oh, that was easy. 9 foot-pounds. Relax your torque wrench right away after. So you'll gently bottom it, and then I just normally let it set at a quarter turn. That gives it no tension on the spring, holds its accuracy better. Well, it's moving nice and smooth. Careful, don't get your fingers in there. We're gonna go with it anyway, so it doesn't matter if it's right or not. We're gonna try it. We're gonna feed her the onions. Let me see if I can get you guys a little closer. Maybe, if the cords and stuff agree, we'll get you somewhere over here. Oh, I should have paused the camera for that. Is he sick yet? Jeez. Again. Amateur cameraman. Are we looking where we need to look? Well, it's what we got. That's what we got. So now gotta get our lifters. They call them lifters. It's little, yes, lifters. It's a little tiny push rod that lifts the valves. Get some oil in there. Fill that little bearing spot there with oil. I don't know what it does. It's the thing. I'll squirt a little around the gears. On the governor gears, we'll get a little bit of oil on this gear. I'm just using 1030 on this thing. Just oil everywhere. I gotta find all my parts. The parts are here. Oh, they're right there. So we will. That's a lifter. Just clean the stuff. It's pretty straightforward. It's all nuts and bolts. Don't overthink it. Lifters installed. No binding. Move nice and free. They're oiled. Camshaft next. There's a little dot on this crankshaft somewheres. I know it's there. I've seen it before. There it is. That's the end of the camshaft sits in that little pocket where I put the oil in. And the camshaft is, I'm walking back and forth because everything's all over here. It's a different box. Here's our camshaft with that mechanical weight for the automatic decompression. Let's give her a little wipe. Don't knock any little springs off. Just make sure we got no crap built up on the thing. There was no shims, no washers, no nothing underneath that. So there's a dot right here, a little dimple, lines up with, you see it? Get you zoomed in. Little tiny dot on that tooth right there. That dot goes with that dot. One more tooth. Get in your home. That is not correct. Oh, there we go. They're friends. So this dot wants to be with this dot. They're friends like that. There you go. Dots are aligned. That's top dead center. Compression stroke appears like. We can turn things around. Actually, it turns this way. There's no springs or anything on the valve train, so nothing is restricting it from turning. Just don't get your fingers in there. So that is exhaust stroke. Let's get her, because I can tell it because the exhaust lobe is pushed all the way up. Get her wrapped back around on TDC and the compression stroke. Not that it's going to stay there, because it's going to be all over the place. That's a bearing journal there at the base of the crank. What are you looking so far in for? A little oil on the journal, a little oil on where the cover is going to go over that. There's a dowel that goes here, a dowel goes there. He must be in the box of stuff. So one dowel's in my hand, the other dowel's stuck in the cover. We'll install this dowel over here. With a hammer handle like you're supposed to. And I gotta find a gasket, or make one. Well, I went and picked me up some gaskets. Got the crankcase gasket, and I got a valve cover gasket. Let's get this thing together. Re-oil this because it's been, oh, that's a lot. Because it's been a little bit. It's the next day. A little bit of oil around that crankshaft. Lube up where the seal's going to slide down. Really don't care if it's at top dead center or not. We'll figure that out when we get there. But let's get these down there. Put a little squirt in this spot here. Holds the camshaft. It was a bit of a bear to get off. That bearing didn't want to slide off easy. But I did clean some rust out of the way. There she goes. She's down over the dowels. Just give her a few little love taps. Seated. Bolts. Spec I found is 16 to 19 foot-pounds. We're going to go right in the middle there somewhere. We're just running them down. And I got my inch-pound torque wrench dialed up because my foot-pound torque wrench doesn't go that low. I'm just going to tighten them in a cross pattern. We'll just snug them down evenly. Yeah, get a hold here. There, get. One. Two. Get over there. Three. Easier said than done. 4. 5, and should be 6. 6, done. And relax the torque wrench so we don't throw it out of calibration. Time to flip it back up. Put the head back on it. Carburetor's dangling. Perfect. So top dead center of the compression stroke, both of our lifters should be down. Just gotta eyeball that. One lifter's sitting, there we go. They're just kind of, oil friction was holding them. So they're both down. So we should be able to fire our new head gasket onto there and get the rest of this thing together. See if we can bolt it to something and fire it up. Well, let's carry on a little bit here. Got the dowels in, got the head gasket on. Got our cylinder head. It's clean-ish. Had a paper towel. There we go. Mostly clean that out. I'm not worried about the valves. I'm not going to do any of that stuff. You don't need it. They're nice and clean on the back side. Let's get this carburetor started on the studs because I don't think I can wiggle it around when it's sitting way out there. There's just stuff everywhere. Fuel line. I think that goes up there. I don't remember. Doesn't want to fit back in. That's our spark plug wire. Oh, there we go. Just slide down the studs. It's where you're supposed to be. Here we are. Line our dowels up. Give her a wiggle. There we go. Seated. Seated. Yeah, that'll be fine. All these bolts are the same length. Run them down. Same torque spec, 16 to 19. Just do them in a crisscross pattern. Snug. We're just running them down, make sure the dowels are seated properly. There we go. Let's start torquing, maybe. One, two, three, and four. Perfect. Push rods are next. Set the valves. Almost there. Almost there. We've got the push rods set in there, and I've ensured that they're in the lifters. Don't forget this little guy. That is a rotator. Where the Briggs & Strattons have a follower that goes under the rocker arm, that's a rotator. Oh, I forgot this whole stud coming in here. Yeah. I have to separate that stuff, get that stud torque back into the cylinder head. Ha! I forgot. Alright, so I've already got this side set. The intake is set. This was filthy, so I give her a bath in the parts washer. Still solvent coming out of it. That's fine. That's fine. Let's get this one set. Spec is 6 to 9 thou. So everything's loose here. Our lock is loose. The adjuster is loose. Let's get our feeler blade in there. I'm going to go with 7. That's what we're going to aim for. I'm just going to snug this down with my fingers. A little bit of drag on it. Put the bend in there so it would go in easier. That feels about right. That's a purely by feel thing, guys. It's hard to describe it, but a slight amount of drag is all you want. Got that stud. I'll put some blue Loctite on there just in case. Anyway, it actually feels pretty good right there. So we're going to hold the adjuster. Nice thing about this Honda is these threads on these adjusters are tiny, like ultra fine, which means it's not very sensitive here when you adjust it. Like some of the Briggs, they've got coarse threads, so a microscopic little turn is like 2 thou on your clearance. That's a little snug. Let's back that off just a little. A little snug. I guess we're allowed to go to 9, so 6 to 9? Let me read that again. 6 in the intake, 8 on the exhaust. So we'll go a little bit bigger on the exhaust. Yeah. Let's get that one back in there. Let's go to 8. 8 on the exhaust. Yeah, loosen that off a little bit. Usually the clearance is bigger on the exhaust because it heats up more, and as it heats up, it expands, and you lose your clearance. Yeah, like I said, fine threads. So that lock is just snug. There we go. Well, feels pretty good there. Again, we'll hold this. We're just going to tighten that lock just a little bit more. Good enough for me. It's super fine threads. Feels good. Feels good. Let's get a gasket on our valve cover. So the original one actually went around these holes, but this one is the replacement. And it seems to fit. Okay. Yeah, by part number, that's the replacement for it. 2, 3, and 4. Let's just snug those up by hand. I don't know what the spec is. I didn't even look it up. It's a valve cover gasket. It's not crazy tight. Here we go. And 4. Good enough. This bracketry got bent out of the way. Instead of taking it off, I just bent it. It worked. One there. One there. It's a shield. Gotta be on there. This was just kind of sitting in there backwards. Some of the newer ones go to the air cleaner box. This was just kind of hanging out here, aiming backwards. So get that pushed in. Yeah, come on. Get in there, home. There we go. This was out here. Was it that or the fuel line? No, it's fuel line. Fuel line goes there. That was there. Ah, coming together. Let's get a plug in there. BPR6ES. BPR6ES. For the win. And GK. If you're so inclined, you can find yourself a nice Torch F6 RTC and put that in there, but you won't be finding me doing that in my shop. That's that. Plug wire. Get our exhaust pipe on there. Just got to find out where the nuts went. They go. There's our muffler. I don't see them. Muffler goes there. Easy. I'm going to search for the hardware. I'm missing it. They're on the bench somewhere. 2 metric nuts. Okay, let me find those nuts. We'll get the air cleaner bolted on as well. Well, let's get the fuel or the throttle. We'll get the throttle attached first. Spring fell off. It's under there somewhere. Where's the spot for it? There it is. There it is. That goes there. Let's get our governor arm down there too. Governor arm, damper spring next. Little tiny hole. Here we go. That's that. This side hooks on the throttle, and the throttle pulls on the governor arm and translates that over to this side. We get that hooked. A little tiny hole in the bottom of this apparatus. And not enough joints in my knuckles to get that stuff in there. Here we go. She's hooked. Spark plug wire is in the wrong spot. Because that has to go there. Get off of there. I think that was up here some. There. It looks like she fits. Maybe this way. Just where do you want to go? That's awesome. I forget where it was. I think it was there. Oh, that's better. It's loads better. All right, let me find the bolt. I'll find the nuts for the exhaust. I'll get this bolted up. And then air cleaner. Still got gas in it. We've got to make sure we put oil in it, for crying out loud. Don't ever forget that. So I gave it a pull just to see if it would turn over nice and no knocking noises, and it fired on the first pull because I had the switch on. So there it sits, idling away. I just grabbed it off the bench, walked outside with it before it got hot. But a little bit of running, you got the haze, got a little bit of oil haze left. It's coming out of the muffler, but it's not burning oil. Runs good. Once I get it bolted on a machine, I'll get the idle speed set and I'll get the maximum speed set. But for now, I'll bolt that funky pulley back on there and put it in the shed for stock. Huh. Neat little one. Well, there we go. Nice little GX140 saved from the scrap. Actually runs really nice. I do have some fresh straight 30 in there. It's going to get a bit of a clean up. It's got some fingerprints and stuff on it. It's got this funky snorkel on it because it was on a rototiller originally, and this would actually clamp onto the handlebars, and it went way up, and that was the air intake way away from the dirt. Yeah, well, I don't know if it saved this one or not. There was a lot of dirt behind the air cleaner. Got to have a new gasket on that. And the muffler is very hot because I just ran it. Anyways, we got some oil that's getting run off the machine. It's actually drying up now. Man, was it ever smoky before, but it runs really nice now. Just got a little bit of a haze coming from the oil burning off the externals of the engine, but it's going to get cleaned up anyways. Got our pulley bolted on there, so it's going to be restricted to whatever can use that 3-inch, a 3-inch 5/8 pulley. Honda Motor Company Limited, made in Japan. Huh. Thanks for joining me, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you do subscribe, click that bell icon. It'll notify you when I upload new stuff. Till the next one, take care.